Hey guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in, coming back, watching, hanging out, all that stuff. I appreciate it. I hope you're staying safe, staying healthy out there, and hope you're having the ability to find creative things to do during quarantine. That's something I've been working on. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Jim. Thanks for stopping by. I make videos about editing your photos using different various software products to do post-processing, and I'm always looking for creative things to do. That leads me to talk about today's episode, I guess. And what I'm doing here is something that kind of reminds me of the movie Inception. I got the idea from watching a TV series on Amazon Prime called Bosch. It's based on a detective in LA, which is based on a series of books. I've read all the books. They're great. I've only just got around to watching the TV series. They're like in season 6, so this is not new, but I'm on season 1. However, the opening sequence to that show is super cool. It basically has like video, and then it's got a mirrored, reflected, inverted version of that video playing at the same time. So it's this kind of horizontal mirror kaleidoscope effect. It's really neat looking. And of course, it got me thinking, hey, how can I make an image look like that in Luminar? So that's what I'm doing today. I'm playing around, I'm having fun. This is an isolation challenge. Here's a photo that I have. I've already edited this photo a long time ago. This is about how do I create that effect, not how do I edit the photo. Well, that's not entirely true. I do some editing too, but the point is the photos I'm using today have already been edited in Luminar. I'm just playing around with creating this kaleidoscope Inception. If you remember the movie Inception, it's this weird mind-bending kind of thing. That's kind of the look I'm going for. It's crazy, it's fun, it's weird, but it's fun. So here's a shot in San Francisco. All you do is you just go add a new image layer. You got to have that same image like on your desktop, for example. You can't pull it out of your library, but here it is. This is just a JPEG image, and all I'm going to do is add a new image layer. I put the same image on top of the base image, but here's where you do the fun. You go into transform, and then you go to this little thing here, and you flip it. So now I've taken that image, stuck it on top of that same image, and flipped it. So I've got a flipped image on top of the regular image, okay? Then all I'm going to do is just go over here and play with the opacity. I'm going to pull that down. I've been experimenting with image opacity of about a half or 50. And you can see I've got part of the inverted image showing through, part of it on the top and the bottom. But then I go into blend modes. And here I just kind of scroll through and experiment. And every image is different. The one I'm generally finding I like the most is screen. And now I've got this inverted flipped kind of thing going on. And then I just go get an adjustment layer, maybe stick a preset on it, maybe get some things like some tools and just move sliders around. All I'm trying to do is create an interesting kaleidoscope kind of inverted horizontal mirror thing. So there's the before and the after. It's a fun thing to experiment with. I've done a couple more. Let me show you these real quick. Okay, here's another shot from San Francisco, previously edited, straight down the street with a cable car coming. And then there it is. I've done the invert with the flip, and then I've added another adjustment layer and done some edits. Again, just a fun, creative diversion. Let me show you another idea that I've been experimenting with as well. So here's an edited version from London. I'm gonna say new image layer. This is gonna be the same thing. I've got this London Final 2 copy. I'm gonna stick it on top. I'm gonna go do a transform, and then I'm gonna do a flip, and I'm gonna say done. So this is an enhancement to that original technique where I'm basically doubling down. So I've done that. I've gone to about 50, and my blend mode here is gonna be, I think it's hard, yeah, it's hard light. I liked hard light here because where it overlaps in these dark buildings, it's showing up really cool. So there it is, and what I've been doing here is like going and getting like a preset and adding it with the luminosity mask, but this time I'm gonna do something different. Instead of just doing that and taking the photo, I'm gonna do the same thing again, except I'm gonna rotate it. So I'm gonna say image layer, same image, and I'm going to go to transform, and once in transform, I'm going to flip it that way. So I've flipped it horizontally instead of vertically, right? I'm going to say done. Now I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Oops, lower the opacity to 50. Blend mode was, what was it? Hard light, I think. Hard light, and you can experiment. Actually, soft light looks pretty good there. So does overlay. I'm going to see which one do I like best. Okay, overlay, soft light, hard light. I think I'm gonna go with soft light. So there's soft light. Now I've brought in the image and rotate it. Now I'm gonna do that one more time. So it's basically 4 copies of the image, the base and 3 additions. I'm gonna add a new image layer. It's gonna lay on top. Once again, I'm gonna go to transform, and I'm gonna do what I did a moment ago, which is flip it that way, but now I'm also gonna invert it. So I'm basically trying to get the shard building to be solid almost on that left-hand side, which is kind of like mirroring what's on the right-hand side. One more time, take the opacity down. You can see what I'm doing here, blend mode, and I was on soft light. There's hard light, there's, overlay looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with overlay. And there it is. Now here's where I'm coming in and I'm saying, all right, new adjustment layer. And I'm gonna go grab a look and I'm gonna go through, these are Joel Grimes looks pack. I'm gonna go into my London Calling looks pack and I'm gonna pull something like this King's Cross looks pretty cool. And I think I will pull that adjustment amount down a little bit to soften the impact. Now the other thing you can do here is apply this with a luminosity mask, which I'm going to do as well. So you just click on mask and luminosity, it'll create that automatically and apply that to your photos. Okay, and there it is. The luminosity mask has been applied on the look on this adjustment layer. And even though I adjusted the amount down, I can now bring it back up if I want to get a little bit more of that effect. Keep in mind, because it's a luminosity mask, I'm not going to get the full effect because a luminosity mask applies to the more luminous or brighter parts of the image more heavily than it does the darker stuff. And a lot of where all these buildings are in the center of the frame, all of that, not just the really dark parts, but also these dark parts, it's getting much less impact of that look because the luminosity mask is lower there. The mask is lower because it's based on light values. It's a less intense mask in the darker areas. I can click on the brush and the eyeball to show you. So you can see like where it's really dark, you're getting very little mask, and where it's brighter in the photo, you're getting more of that red. So in other words, more of the effect is applying where it's red or pink and much less is applying where it's darker. And that was really it, my friends. It's just a strange, fun experiment, but I took an image that I previously edited and I flipped it and changed the blend mode and the opacity, and then I added it again as image layer and I rotated it, blend mode, opacity, and then I added it again as an image layer and rotated and flipped. So and the only reason I did that there is because this is such a prominent landmark on the right-hand side. And when I doubled it, I thought, well, could I replicate that on the other side? And you can by flipping the image and then also flipping and inverting it. Just a fun experiment, something to while away the time that you may have at home on your hands here, just trying to do fun, creative, and different things. Again, previously edited in Luminar, and that was just a fun kind of inspired by the opening credits. And I just recommend Googling, if you're not familiar with the show and haven't seen the opening credits, just type in opening credits video Bosch, B-O-S-C-H, something like that. You'll find it. You'll see what I'm talking about. This isn't exactly it, but it's pretty close. That, of course, is a video, so it's moving. You're not moving anything. In Luminar, it's all still. But I wanted to recreate the effect of kind of replicating or mirroring a city up above the city. And I try this with a lot of different photos. I find that it works best with blue hour type photos with cityscapes. I like that where lights are on. It just looks different. It looks pretty good on night shots as well. But I tried it on some nature photos, some waterfalls and things like that. Wasn't really getting the kind of look that I like. So my personal preference is it works best in kind of blue hour cityscape kind of stuff, or maybe some night cityscapes. The point is you have some dark areas and you have some bright areas. The brights being like the city lights or neon, things like that. And you can create some really interesting effects. That is the isolation challenge for today, my friends. Just a fun, creative thing to do, starting with a photo that's like that and turning it into a kind of strange, replicated, like I said, it kind of reminds me of the movie Inception, where you're like, I don't know what's real anymore or where I am and what's up and what's down. Kind of the Inception look here, kind of a kaleidoscope, kind of a horizontal mirror. I have no idea what I'm going to call it, but I hope it's fun for you. Thanks for watching. That was really it. Just wanted to run through that real quick. Go have fun and go experiment. Stay safe out there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Have a great day. Take care, and adios.